My top 20 tips for how to attract more love into your life. You're welcome. I'm Dr. Margaret Cochran, and I help highly successful women like you create the relationships of their dreams. Now, as you've heard me say many times before, the most important love relationship you have is the one with yourself. And you've also heard me say that being selfish is what allows us to be selfless. Understanding who we are and making sure that our needs are met is what allows us to be kind, selfless, and giving. So today we're going to focus on that most important relationship, the one you have with yourself. Because loving yourself is what attracts people to love you. Let me repeat that because it's all important. The love relationship you have with yourself is what will ultimately attract people to love you. Here are some of my surefire go-to tools for setting yourself up to love and be loved in a healthy way. So here we go. Number 1, celebrate small wins. You know what really unhappy people do? They don't recognize when they're happy. They find ways to turn anything they do into something bad. Now, that's really good for keeping you angry, anxious, and depressed, but if you don't want to feel those things, don't do that. Celebrate your small wins and use them as a foundation for joy and bigger wins to come. Number 2, practice grounding techniques. Now, some of you will say, oh, yes, of course. Well, that's all important. I do it all the time. And others of you may say, what's a grounding technique? Well, basically, it's an exercise that keeps you focused in the present. And the present is where life happens, and that's what's really important. Now, there are a number of ways to go about grounding yourself, but here's one really simple one called 4-7-8 breathing. You simply cross your hands over your heart, which starts the flow of the feel-good hormone oxytocin in your body. You close your eyes and slowly inhale for a count of 4, then hold your breath for a count of 7, and slowly exhale down to a count of 8. And in your mind, during each breathing segment, say the phrase, I am enough, because you are. Number 3, rest. I know that sounds simple, but especially for women, this can be challenging. We are socialized to take care of everyone but ourselves, and that's often exactly what I do, to our detriment, and in the end, to the detriment of those we love as well. So rest, take a nap, step back, relax, go to bed by 10 p.m., read something funny and soothing, listen to music and or any other activities that you find calming. Now, we've been talking about ways to love yourself and in so doing to attract more love into your life. So we're going to go on now to number 4, which is spend time in nature. Just go outside and walk around, preferably somewhere near grass or trees or other flowering plants. Walking in a purposeful, thoughtful manner is a great way to soothe and ground yourself. There's that word again. It's a form of meditation and is excellent for mood regulation and energy restoration. Number 5, schedule something to look forward to on a regular basis. A sense of anticipation is a joyful thing, and it can be something as simple as a new book you want to read, a new show you want to watch, a new restaurant you want to try, or something as complex as a trip abroad. Number 6, take a social media break. I know, here I am on social media telling you to take a social media break, but I mean it sincerely. Turn off your phone, close down your screens, and just be. Number 7, create random acts of kindness. Helping others is an incredibly powerful way to boost your own emotional well-being. Volunteer, make food for a friend who's ill, let someone ahead of you in line, or pay for their coffee or groceries. And now on to number 8 on our list. Connect with people who make you feel safe and supported. Now, this may sound like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised at how often people spend all their time with others that are demanding things out of them without giving anything back. Schedule a coffee date with a friend, join a special interest group, find a book club, reach out in whatever way you can, and make connections that are about love, support, positivity, and giving back. Number 9, set boundaries. We've talked about this before, and we'll be talking about it again, I suspect. Without boundaries, there can be no intimacy. Let me repeat that. Without boundaries, there can be no intimacy. Remember it. It isn't that other people don't honor your boundaries, it's that you don't hold them. So be clear about what they are, express them in a respectful way, and don't back down. Number 10, a really lovely way to feel better is to work with plants. Gardening is delightful and doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Maybe it's just about houseplants or growing herbs in your kitchen. It doesn't matter. It's all about nurturing something, helping it grow and flourish, and remembering that we're part of the natural world around us. And now on to number 11, start a positivity journal. To facilitate positivity, avoid the headlines as much as possible. After all, when was the last time you saw the Washington Post or the New York Times lead with, "Nice man saves random cat for no monetary reward whatsoever"? Wouldn't that be lovely? Record the things you see around you that are wonderful. Write a scientific breakthrough that saves or improves the quality of people's lives. Write down something silly your friend told you, a compliment you just overheard, or one that was given to you, or one that you gave yourself. What a concept. Number 12. Declutter your space. Now, we're not talking about hoarding here. That's another discussion altogether. What we're talking about is too many things strewn around your environment. I talk to people about this all the time. Clutter creates stress. Stress creates anxiety and feelings of depression, and anxiety and feelings of depression make our lives miserable. If you find yourself having difficulty managing this stuff in your life, call a friend that's organized or get a professional. They are organizers galore. Number 13, try a new recipe. You might be thinking, really, a recipe? Making something new can honestly make a difference in how you feel. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it's tasty. You can either enjoy it solo or with those you love. Number 14, dance. You don't have to know what you're doing. All you have to do is move your body around to some music you love. This is one of my personal favorites. You can do it with others, you can do it in private, but dance joyfully and with abandon. Number 15, make a friend in a different age group. We often limit ourselves only to spending time and having adventures with people our own age, but in truth, intergenerational bonds expand our worldviews by introducing us to perspectives, knowledge, and resources that we might not otherwise experience. Number 16, try a new hobby. Play a new sport, skateboard, paint, draw, knit, do music or other creative outlets. Hobbies are wonderful for your brain and your mental health. Remember, you don't have to be good at it, just have fun. Number 17, do something that scares you a little or a lot. Take a class, do some community theater, bungee jump, skydive, boogie board, go for it. Dreams. On to number 18, carve out some independent time for yourself. And if you've been listening to this and you're no longer doing everything for everybody else all the time, you have the bandwidth to make this happen. Time with yourself is extremely important. You must have enough downtime to recharge your batteries or you're no good to anybody, frankly. Remember the rule of entropy. If there's more energy going out of a system than is coming in the system, it begins to break down and die. Did you get that? Break down and die. So take some time for yourself. Recharge the batteries your soul runs on and fill up your love tank. Number 19, journal. Now, this is something slightly different from the positivity journal I spoke of earlier. This is a space that's dedicated to recording any and all of your thoughts and feelings, and it can help your mental health immensely. And doing this is particularly good for anxiety and depression. Here you have the opportunity to talk back to your negative thoughts by giving yourself the advice that you would offer a friend who came to you with the same problem. And then you need to listen to yourself and take it. And or it's an opportunity to get the things you're worried about out of your head and onto the paper so you can move forward and think about the good stuff. And finally, number 20. Eat food that's nutritious and good for you. Now, this may sound like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how often this doesn't happen. So there you have it, 20 ways to love yourself, and in so doing, bring more love into your life. Please take care of you. We need you. The world's a better place because you're here. I look forward to our next conversation. Until then, I'm Dr. Margaret Cochran. There's a link in my bio if you want to explore working with me. Like, comment, and follow for more.